Hello friends, it's been a while. I've for sure been avoiding making this video, but I think it has to be done. The reason I've been avoiding this video is because it's actually horrifying and terrifying to put out to the world. It's scary because I'm just gonna be vulnerable with you guys, I'm just gonna lay it all out. I have a lot on my chest and I think I just need to get it out there and stop avoiding. I think that in order to post and stay consistent, build my YouTube and my following and stuff like that, I just have to be winning and this perfect person and show you guys the value and work hard and all this stuff. But unfortunately, life's not always like that. Life's not always uphill. And if I keep using the fact that I'm not just absolutely winning as an excuse to not just post, well then I'm just gonna regret it years down the line. I feel like when it comes to connecting with me on a human level, it's I think this is important for people to see, because a lot of people, when they become successful, it's hard to humanize them. They seem so distant and so far. So it's this is my chance to basically show you guys I'm human too, and just kind of lay it all on the line and let you come to whatever conclusion you'd like to about me. So anybody that wants to work for me, anybody that works with me, anybody that calls me their friend, or any family members, I think it's just important for me to just be real and stop pretending and stop acting like everything's perfect all the time. And just kind of humble myself, It feels like I've reached one of the lowest lows in my life that I've had for a long time. As of right now, this is what my bank account looks like. This is my Amex card. This is my Discover card. This is my Apple card. Here's my Stripe account. And I have a mountain of bills that are all coming. I'm fortunate enough to have a caring and loving partner that paid rent this month, paid rent last month, and is going to pay rent for January as well. And it's just a lot to ask of somebody, I feel like. And truthfully, there are no words of cope or excuses or anything. This is simply my video log where I'm sitting down and talking to myself, facing the man in the mirror, and figuring out why I'm dealing with these consequences right now, and being abruptly honest with myself so that I can reflect on this and watch this back and hold myself accountable to not make these dire mistakes ever again, and not put the people that I love in this position and put all this stress on them, and be better. Guys, the reason this video is so scary to make is because when I set out from Kansas when I was 21, even when I was 19, dreaming of being an entrepreneur, dreaming about being the guy that pulls my family out of poverty, being able to pay for my sister's college and her life, being able to retire my mom, being able to save my dad from slaving away, being able to help my extended family and cousins, and being able to support everybody and being that rock everybody can lean on. That comes from my soul. And truthfully, deep down in my soul, it's I want to be a hero. I want to be the good guy that's helping everybody. And unless I face myself, I don't think that I'll be able to help people like I dreamed about. And putting this out there is admitting that I'm a failure and I've been defeated, which sucks because obviously I always thought it'd be different. I always thought I would have been able to save everybody long before this, long before now, and I wouldn't have been dealing with these problems. And so hopefully this is somewhat of like a wake-up call to myself to just, stop messing up. Let's start at the beginning, out of high school. Obviously, I felt the calling to entrepreneurship when I was 19, literally turned 19, and 3 months later I felt the calling to entrepreneurship. And from the time I was 19 all the way up until a few months ago in September, I've truthfully been afraid to just act, and I have not acted. And these are the consequences that follow. Instead of just starting my own business and figuring out right then and there, I've always played the safe route, the stable route, right? To where I had my day job, my 9 to 5, then I, just learned about entrepreneurship, learned about all that stuff, and then obviously I moved over to my salary job as a mechanic, where I learned how to day trade and tried starting a detailing business, but never did enough volume to really make it work, never did enough sales or outreach or attempts. And even to when I quote unquote started my own business in 2020, when really it was just an LLC to get paid as a 1099 contractor so I can do roofing sales. I called myself an entrepreneur and I thought I was being an entrepreneur, but truthfully I was just a salesman, a glorified employee, being able to work on my own terms. And I've been in this illusion where I truly thought this whole time I was being an entrepreneur and going down the right path. The last time I felt like this was in that first year going to Colorado. I went to Colorado in October with a BMW and about $4,000 in my bank account. I drained through those funds by the end of the year, and I had to sell my BMW, and my dog died, and I lost my relationship of like 3 years, and I literally had nothing. I was hungry every week. I asked my parents for $100 so I can buy McDonald's once a week, and just desperately trying to make sales work and like refusing to give up, with no vision, no path, no clarity, just hoping it works. And at the same time, I have myself to blame because most of the time I was drinking on the weekends, I was smoking weed every other day, if not every day, and I was pretending like I was actually doing something. And truthfully, I was just completely distracted and not focused on the ball. Not truly, maybe I would wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym, read my books, meditate, do my sales all day, but truthfully, it wasn't enough. As much as you think that's enough, it's never going to be enough. And I had a little break, of course, $20,000, bought my truck, went down to like $6,000, moved over here to Kansas City, Warrensburg, Missouri, trying to build this vision, trying to build this future because of the love and feelings I had for other people, thinking that I was actually being like an entrepreneur and gaining these skills, and desperately trying to make the people I brought with me successful, and desperately trying to help the organization I was with to become successful, and thinking it was just going to be this, we work hard together and we're going to break out of this and we're all going to win dream scenario. And it's just, reality is so much more harsh. I stepped into a role that I just wasn't ready for. And these people that relied on me, all of them failed. Every last one of them went back home broke, feel like they wasted 6 months. One of them resents me, hates me, wrote a bad review, Every time we interact, it's always a negative thing. That's on me. And at the very least, my life went up. I was still distracted by partying and smoking, and I did psychedelics at the time and thought I had these prolific breakthroughs, and perhaps I did, but perhaps it's not so black and white and simple. Perhaps reality is much deeper and much more meaningful, and you don't need substances in order to achieve the truth. You need focus and discipline and attention and awareness. What I had believed was the right path because I was trying to do the right thing and help others and be selfless was truly, truly a detriment. I was lost in lust, and I've been lost in lust since I can remember. Since I was 13. Honestly, I was born into lust. And my mind has been completely and utterly wired towards lust. And this is the demon that I face, greater than any. My one weakness is that. Going out and partying, trying to find something to, bang. Distracting myself on dating apps for years before I finally did away with it. I have to pay for that with my soul. And everybody I wanted to help has to pay for it too. Because I was weak and I wasn't enough. I didn't work hard enough. I wasn't focused enough. I didn't do the right things. And multiple people suffered because of it. Many, many people have suffered because of it. And so they all left. I kept doing my thing, I built myself up to another 20,000, had my white truck, went to Miami, of course, partied, drank, went clubbing, pursued women. Learned that Miami was the place I wanted to be. At 22 years old, I learned that Miami was the place I wanted to be, and I'm still not there. And it's right there in the vlog, you can scroll back to the first time I went to Miami. Delusions that I had that I would actually get there, and along the way I've lost myself for sure. It's so hard to wake up with motivation now. I've probably woken up at 5 a.m. 5, maybe 10 times in the last 60 days. I've just deep down given up on myself. A lot of the times I just want to die. I want this to end. And of course I would never take my own life, or at least I probably wouldn't take my own life, but it sucks for sure. And the emotion of just end it all washes over me a lot, and I'm sure it's the demons whispering, trying to probe at my weakness. Up until this point, my first Miami trip, where I had about $20,000 in my bank account, and I was 22, and I was single, and my credit was like 700, all my debt was paid off. This was where my life has basically peaked. Everything else has been downhill from there. I tried a detailing business. I tried learning code and starting a software company. I tried doing insurance sales. I tried doing wholesale. 4 failed businesses. And I was desperately holding on to roofing sales as the one business that I can actually make work. I tried doing drop shipping. That failed. I tried NFTs. That failed because I gave up and I didn't commit. I didn't fully go into it. I didn't absolutely apply myself and completely eliminate all distraction to make it work and stick around long enough to make it work. These are the only reasons all of this failed, because it wasn't glamorous or sexy enough for me to actually stick through with it. So after the Miami trip, I'm on top of the world. I'm a 22-year-old with 5 figures in my bank account, thinking I'm really doing something. So I, have the great idea where it's like, hey, it's slow season. The only way to get more roofing sales is going to be to move to a larger metro, because I live in a small rinky-dink town in Warrensburg. And so, I brought the idea up to Joe, one of my colleagues, and Haley, my now girlfriend, and we were like, yeah, let's move. Moved to Lee Summit, and I'm making zero income for the rest of the year. It's just like March till December. I was the beginning of the downfall to where it has brought me to this point, really. This whole Kansas City journey has been this. Where basically I blow through all my funds, rent's due, groceries. Every now and then we go party. I live within my means reasonably, but I'm still not deploying my funds in an intelligent way to bring more funds in. I'm still relying on roofing sales. We have a hailstorm that hits like 2 hours south, and now it's a huge time commitment, the 4-hour thing back and forth. And I'm trying to make it work, and I'm juggling my entrepreneur aspirations, and I'm thinking maybe I should make Kansas City work, and I'm just all over the place. And I started an agency that summer. I buy Imam Ghazi's course for $1,000, 2022. Start Empire, right? Don't do any outreach. I don't do any significant amount of outreach to actually get a client. I don't even understand how much it truly takes to get your first client when you're doing cold, no paid ads. And I could have just put money into paid ads. And these are the moments where I just reflect on how much I would have been able to do with the knowledge and skills I have now. And obviously, I have faith that God has a plan, and He wouldn't give me wealth before I was ready for it, before my character had sufficiently developed to earn it. And it just sucks because I have to live with knowing that my family suffering and all the people I want to help, I still just have to patiently wait until I can actually help them. And so, January, I land my first client, Sun Solar. They pay me $2,500 a month. I didn't even bill them for February and March because I didn't understand. They were just down to pay every month. We do SEO, Google Ads for them. We get them great results. We build them a solar calculator. They ended up staying on 18 months later. Gus came around, another person I just wanted to so desperately help. So obviously I just give him half of whatever we make at the agency because he's helping me with the agency. We build Empire together. Muggsy comes in the picture. He blows up on social media. I didn't have the clarity, even though I so desperately wanted to lead them to success. I didn't have the clarity to actually make it happen. And the first 6 months were great. We were homies. Everything was good. We were building. We were trying to figure it out. And then, of course, the truth is, my own character flaws pushed really good men away. And I lost really good friends because I wasn't strong enough. I just didn't get it. I remember I would often pray to God and meditate on just wanting to make them successful because it hurt so much losing the 4 guys that I had that we were all supposed to be successful, and they all failed. And I so desperately wanted them to be successful, and fortunately my prayers were answered, but unfortunately I didn't realize that the cost of them being successful was them being successful without me. And so, I had this vision to build a huge, empire, right? Create many kings in many businesses, let them all be their own CEO, and we're all just one big conglomerate group where we're all just winning. And it's not weird, and it's not, nobody has all the money and all this stuff. That was my vision. I tried my best to give them what I knew, support them how I could, give them whatever equipment I had, pay for things whenever I could pay for it. Obviously give, Gus half the funds, because that's all he had. He left everything to come and pursue entrepreneurship on a whim. And the truth is, because I'm such a lustful person, I pushed them away. I'd be distracted by women. I'd waste time. And although on the surface in those 6 months, nobody really said anything, the truth is deep down, they knew, just whatever, And because of this, I ended up hurting the person closest to me. The person that would give everything for me. Everything. When I was little, I had somebody I was really close to. And I'd known her for 6 or 7 years. And we were really close. And she ended up killing herself. And I think somewhere deep down that really fucked me up. And most of the time, when I was a kid, it just wasn't enough. I was too skinny, and I was Hispanic, but I was white, and I was weird, and obviously it's just I wasn't really favored because I wasn't athletic or any of this stuff. I had 2 really good relationships, and they fell through, and I think that also really fucked me up. This is way so much to just fucking be thrown in the vlog, guys. But after losing the second relationship, I think somewhere deep down I was truly, truly a damaged person. I kept chasing lust, and I kept valuing these women and trying to feel chosen and trying to feel something empty in my soul that the real answer was under my nose the whole time. And I didn't see it. And I kept chasing all these women. And it led the person closest to me to almost take her life as well. And Gus and Muggsy saw. Muggsy was there. He saved her. As much as I want to be a good person, guys, that still happened because of me. And even after that, I still didn't change. Obviously, we lost, the lease ended, so I moved to Overland Park. Those 2 stayed in Lee Summit. Distance grew and grew. On the surface, everything was fine, but deep down, there was obviously the doubts. This is not the guy to follow into battle, And I so desperately trying to make it work. And my attention was split into roofing sales as well. Again, desperately trying to make that stuff work. Smoking weed and avoiding these painful truths that I'm now confessing on camera right now. Next year comes around, and we have serious momentum. The beginning of 2023 was strong. I remember right after Christmas, the winter's New Year started. I started working hard. I was consistent. This was the longest run I've had, 5 a.m. till 9 p.m. every single day. Reading, meditating, journaling. I was locked the fuck in. And everything was going so good for me. And everything was uphill. And I had so much momentum. I was winning and I was crushing it in every conceivable measure. Me and Haley moved in together. And then I broke my collarbone. And that was the final nail in the coffin. I'd become injured. I was out for 6 weeks, not performing the way I should be. Trying to help a new hire that came onto Soderbergh because I desperately, again, wanted to just help people. But truthfully, I deserved it. To be so ignorant and to hurt people that care about me, to be so weak and distracted, it's karma. I deserved to break my collarbone. And I deserved the financial burden that came after that. Because all in all, it was probably about $20,000 that I had to pay out of pocket. You know, I don't have insurance. I had to pay the surgery like $10,000 up front. Anesthetic bill. I still owe on all that stuff, by the way. Just haven't paid it off. I just haven't had money since then. I've literally had a negative net worth since I moved to Lee Summit. I've been in debt since then. And the time came when I just had $0 in my bank account, no access to any funds. As desperate as I tried to hold on to the guys who I thought were my friends, you know, I wasn't able to go to Las Vegas on one of the trips. And from then on, it was just like, why keep going with this guy? And, you know, obviously, they can just be successful without me. And they were. Around the same time, Soderbergh had wanted to open up an office in Kansas City, and I thought it was a kind of a dumb idea because I was the only person in Kansas City. And he was just so adamant about it, and I just thought that was like he trusts me to make it work and be successful. This is my chance to win and build something really cool and build a really good team and have that duty and honor. And so I helped him build it. I drifted apart from the other guys. Now they're winning in every metric. And I'm grateful that I had those lessons because they shaped me to be a less lustful person, a more focused person. Even the small span that I had really positively impacted my personality, and I get to carry that forever. So I'm truly grateful. And perhaps in another life, we could all be smiling and laughing together and everything would have been good. And I wouldn't have had all these character defects and failed the people that counted on me. And so I built the office. I say I built the office, I really just brought in sales. Helped people when they came in, tried to instill a positive work environment for them. Was always lending a helping hand, seeing what they needed, trying to motivate them. And in 2023, I kind of cut back on drinking. So I wasn't really drinking alcohol anymore, maybe once a month. And by 2024, truthfully, I'd been done away with almost completely. Weed, was on the way out as well. I was more sober in 2024. I'd become 25. I told myself I'd be a millionaire by 25, and that didn't happen, and that really wrecked my soul. Because I thought everything I'd been doing was the right thing, and I had to face the terms that, no, I've been a complete failure. And since then, I've just not been the same, and I want to find that version of myself again that had the fire, which is why I'm here, really. And of course, whenever you don't drink and the people around you that are coming into the company are love partying and love drinking and love women, and you were trying to go off with that life on a deep level, there's going to be a disconnect, During the day, it's like, yes, we have the same mission, sell roofs, build. But there's animosity whenever you just try not to pursue women and pursue alcohol. And it forms and it bubbles and it manifests in all these horrible ways where people make things up about you. It's like deep down, it just there's that layer of like, okay, you think that you're superior to us because you don't drink and you don't do this, so let's tear you down. And it'll always manifest, By October, I'd made $26,000 in 1 month. I thought that was cool. I paid off a lot of my debt right there because my Amex card had $12,000. My Discover card had like $4,000. Obviously still had medical bills. I paid off a good amount of debt. I think I was down to like $3,000 or something like that by the end of it all, by November. And then, the year ends, we have our Christmas party, and I think on a petty level, something that's just childish, I wanted them to acknowledge all the work that I put in that year, because I left my own company, I left Empire, I left the guys. I only did roofing. I only focused on building a really solid team and bringing in roofing sales. I thought it was worth something, and there wasn't a single mention of my name during the company organization, which hurt. Everybody went to party after. There was I didn't. I went home. On a personal level, there was just that underlaying, like, I didn't get my respect thing, and my woman shit tested me. We got in an argument that night. That sucked. Deep down, that stung a lot. The next year rolls around, beginning of this year. I'm still trying to build the team and move forward and get myself out of this situation. And I want everybody to win. I want to be this hero, right? And it's all going good. And at a certain point, it's just, that wasn't enough. I couldn't manage all the jobs I was doing. I couldn't build all these guys up. And I made errors. These errors compiled. And the good I did not outweigh the errors I made. It didn't matter in that time. It didn't matter. All that matters is taking responsibility and making it right, because I'm putting stress on other people for no reason. And no amount of excuses or any reasons I could justify would ever make up for that. And it all builds up. And the animosity and the rumors and the false things people accuse me of build up to where I'm painted as the bad guy. To where it's like now, just ousted, outcast from what was my home, you know? So now I'm 27 years old. Since September, I've only been focused on my agency. That is the only form of income I have. I made $2,000 in August. I made $900 in like September, October. I got some people to agree to work with me for free. I closed a $1,500 deal beginning of November in Oklahoma, and he asked for a refund because my systems were not adept enough. Which brings me to today. In order to get to zero, I need to make a $1,500 sale because my Stripe account's literally negative. All of my credit cards are maxed out. It's about $9,000 of credit card debt. Bills are due. November, December, January. Food. The groceries. My phone bill. My phone's been off most of the month. I don't receive calls. I don't have service when I go out. And I believe I deserve this. I've been a lustful person. I know I'm not supposed to be lustful. And I still haven't learned. It's cost so much. Desperately wanting to be a hero doesn't just make me a good guy. Perhaps I'm truly an awful, horrible person pretending to be a good guy. At this point, I've lost everything. Just shy of Haley. So, it's like I have nothing to lose by posting this. There is no image I'm trying to portray here. There's no humility. If you feel like reaching out to me and talking to me, just don't. I'm sorry to say this, but your words hold no gravity to me. You are not where I want to be. I don't know a single person that's where I want to be. Not one. Doesn't matter the amount of materialistic or financial success you have, there still needs to be a layer of integrity that comes along with that as well. And truth is, guys, I resent a lot of the people around me in my day-to-day. All these bad habits and weaknesses I see, I just resent, but the truth is I resent myself. All they are mirrors of myself, a reflection of me. And so I resent myself. I resent not just starting when I was 19, I resent playing the safe route this whole time, making all these people suffer, and not being able to help the people I care about sooner. I resent my weaknesses, sleeping in, lust, laziness, sloth comes over me, pride, wrath. I'm victim to all these. I pray for strength. I pray that Jesus takes me where I need to be. And I have faith. That doesn't change the emotions that I feel. Truthfully, I don't see a way out.
Are you coming?
Mm-hmm.
I was just seeing if you were okay.
I'm okay. I don't have anything to run ads. I've been cold calling. I've been in the same exact position for the last 2-3 months, honestly. Been cold calling, cold DMing, trying to build systems, trying to follow up, trying to get somebody interested in Facebook ads for fucking roofing companies during the winter. It's not a good business idea. These doubts plague my mind every minute of every day. I'm just a dumbass. Why would I think Facebook ads during winter is a good idea? Why would I think starting a business in September when winter's about to hit all these roofers, when all these guys are broke, when nobody wants to invest, is a good idea? At this point, I've made over 2,000 cold calls, not a single dollar generated. Perhaps I've gotten some soft yeses on we'll start during the new year. I'm just fighting an uphill battle, guys. There is no clear path to victory here. 1,000, 2,000, whatever comes in, it's gonna go straight to the refund that I owe this guy. And then debt, and then rent, and then groceries. And one day, I'll be able to put it towards ads again. And keep bringing in business. And truthfully, my products are mediocre. I got lucky with a Facebook ad campaign and managed to score an apartment complex one time. I generated like $50,000 off $2,000 of ad spend for myself one time. You know, I can call it whatever I want, you know, pretend like everybody's just going to get lucky and be able to score a $180,000 contract, but it's not so simple. And you know, I've generated about $50,000 from the one customer that we're running ads for right now. We failed for the Kansas City campaign, the first client. Not a happy customer. I just want to bring these guys value. I just want to charge for something that's actually good. So, this is my confessions. I'm in the trenches right now, guys. All I have is brute work ethic and blind faith that it's going to be okay. There is no path to success. I don't have anything in the pipeline. I don't have anybody paying me a single dollar right now. I have like 4,000 contacts, and I have my ability to just call them 100 a day, 200 a day, 400 a day. And my ability to just text them and see if anybody wants more business. So, if you choose to follow me, if you choose to listen to what I say, if you choose to call me your friend or value me in any sort of way, I think it's important you understand the truth. Everything I've said thus far. I'm not that good of a person. I may pretend to be a good person, but it doesn't mean much if my actions don't justify it. It doesn't matter what I say, and it doesn't matter what my intentions are. And I think deep down, I want to be a good person. And I'm hoping that watching this back will light that fire in me to stop being lazy and stop slacking off and stop doing the wrong things. It's not enough to have good intentions, not smoke, not drink, show up every day. Try your best to be a good person. It's just not enough. The only thing that matters is the inputs. The uncomfortable, unrelenting inputs with no path forward, with not a single glimmer of hope in sight. To anyone I've inspired, to anyone that can look at this and watch me be human, to anyone who I've benefit positively in their life, even a little bit, it was all worth it.